Let's leave some blue up above us. Let's leave some green on the ground. It's only ours to borrow. Let's save some for tomorrow. Leave it and pass it on down. So let's leave some blue up above us. Let's leave some green on the ground. Namaste and welcome to Swastikala, a webinar on the effect of art on human mind. This program is brought to you by AyurDeepak, Arambha Ayurveda and Panchakarma. I am your host, Vaidya Soumya. Thanks to each and every single one of you who come here to learn, listen, and grow. Every year, September 26th is marked as World Environmental Health Day across the globe. World Environmental Health Day is observed to raise awareness regarding the significance of the health of our environment. The theme for World Environmental Health Day this year is strengthening environmental health systems for the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals. I am always excited to speak to people with different backgrounds, different walks of life. Now, among today's guest speakers is an important person in my life. They are a visual artist, founder of the Visionary Art Gallery and Institute Haridwar, and a teaching artist who loves to make face portraits, Wali paintings, Madhubani paintings, mandal art, night paintings, and art, contemporary fluid art, canvas paintings, handicrafts, handmade greeting cards for multiple occasions, and much more. They have got first prize in face painting competition by Kala Parishad, Department of Fine Arts, Kurukshetra University, and third position in annual art exhibition held by Bharati Vidyapeeth's College of Fine Arts, Pune. Their artworks have been exhibited in a number of renowned government art galleries across India. What makes them feel relevant? Most of their artworks are inspired by environment and human emotions. Here to discuss how art strengthens our relationship with our environment, please welcome my dear sibling, artist Shubhra.
Thank you so much, Vaidya Soumya. I'm very much happy to be a part of this webinar. First of all, I would like to say Happy World Environment Day to each and everyone out there. I'm very grateful to all the audience out there, and I'm heartily thankful to the AyurDeepak Ayurveda who choose me as a speaker in this webinar.
Thank you so much. Our next guest speaker is a very dear teacher of ours. They are an associate professor of Kaumar Bharati, Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Ayurveda, Pune, Bal Panchakarma unit in charge, and a painting enthusiast who studies how art therapy has the power to change the lives of the children suffering from neurological disorders. They also run a charity organization wherein the sales from their artworks go towards providing free treatment to the children suffering from neurological disorders and those who are below poverty line. What makes them feel relevant? They are a principal investigator of two research projects on cerebral palsy. Here to discuss how art therapy changes your mind, please welcome Dr. Preetham Pai.
Namaste. Thank you for thank you, Dr. Soumya and AyurDeepak, Arambha Ayurveda and Panchakarma Center for inviting me for this live session, especially for the effects of art therapy on mind and of course on various disorders. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor. There is an information for all the audience out there. We will be taking your questions towards the end of the session. So you can always feel free to drop your questions in the comment section and we will ask the speakers what the questions are and they will be answering as much as we can cover up towards the end. So without any further ado, let's start from the first question of the webinar that goes to Dr. Pai. So Dr. Pai, can you explain to our audience what is art therapy?
Yes, art therapy is, even though the name suggests, therapy in that. So art can be in the form of visual art, that is fine art, and also in the form of music instruments, vocals. So these all these come under art therapy. And what through therapy we do is, especially the therapist does is, so it helps the therapist to diagnose the various diseases through the art therapy. Even though the name suggests therapy in it, it is not just about treatment. It will help the therapist to diagnose various diseases. It can be either post-traumatic stress disorder, or it can be schizophrenia. It can be, Alzheimer's condition. It can be depression. It can be psychosis. It can be neurological disorders, behavioral disorders. So it will help them to diagnose the condition, to know especially the state of mind of the individual. It can be a child, it can be an adult. That is one. And then through the art therapy, the treatment is also given to the, to the child. It can be adolescent or it can be an adult. So this is what art therapy means, in short.
Okay, very beautiful explanation. So, um, so artist Shubhra, please explain to our audience what is art and are humanities different from art?
Okay. The origin of the word color or art, according to Indian scholars, is from the root kal, which means to inspire, to motivate. And it also means beautiful, sweet, soft, and which gives pleasure to the human mind. कला शब्द पहली बार ऋग्वेद में पाया गया. It is a Sanskrit word. कला शब्द इतना ज्यादा विस्तृत है कि इसकी डेफिनेशन कई फिलोसफर्स ने बताई है. सभी ने अलग अलग तरह से इसको प्रस्तुत किया है. अभी हम जानेंगे कि किन फिलोसफर्स ने इसको क्या डेफिनेशंस दी. जैसे प्लेटो ने कहा है, आर्ट इज इमिटेशन ऑफ ट्रुथ. टॉल्स्टॉय ने कहा है, एन इमोशनल एक्शन और एक्सप्रेशन which fills the spectator or listener with the same emotion as art. जो कि हमारे जो भी एक्सप्रेशन होते हैं, आर्ट इज अ काइंड ऑफ स्किल जिसके वाया हम अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस करते हैं. अलग अलग कलाकार अपनी क्रिएटिविटी का यूज करके अपनी कला को दिखाते हैं. जैसे एक हॉर्टिकल्चर आर्टिस्ट हो गया या फिर गार्डन आर्टिस्ट भी कह सकते हैं. वो पेड़ों की कटिंग कर उसको अलग अलग आकृति देकर एक खूबसूरत आकार बनाते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जैसे एक शेप, कोई भी शेप ले लो, जैसे हार्ट का शेप, चिड़िया का शेप बना दिया या फिर मोर का शेप बना दिया आदि. ये सारे आप लोगों ने, हम सभी ने देखे हैं जो कि हॉर्टिकल्चर आर्टिस्ट अक्सर आमतौर पर गार्डन एरियाज में बनाते हैं. इसी प्रकार एक मूर्तिकार सिर्फ एक पत्थर के टुकड़े को तराश के एक खूबसूरत मूर्ति बना देता है. उसी प्रकार एक पेंटर चावल, दाल आदि के उपयोग से कई खूबसूरत पेंटिंग बना देते हैं. कुछ कलाकार तो इवन वेस्ट मटेरियल से एक खूबसूरत इंस्टॉलेशन बना देते हैं. ये सब हमारे एग्जाम्पल है इन द सोसाइटी, जो हम देखते हैं कि आर्ट किस तरीके से प्रस्तुत की जाती है. आर्ट एक अगर सीधे सीधे कहा जाए तो स्किल आर्ट इज ए स्किल टू एक्सप्रेस एनीथिंग। आर्ट एक टेक्नोलॉजी है जिसे बनाने के लिए प्रयोग में होने वाले आर्ट मटेरियल्स की यूज को समझना आवश्यक है। फाइन आर्ट्स अर्थात ललित कला मुख्य रूप से 7 पार्ट्स में जाना जाता है, जैसे पेंटिंग, स्कल्पचर, आर्किटेक्चर, पोएट्री, म्यूजिक, डांस एंड लिटरेचर। जैसे कि हम सभी जानते हैं कि आजकल हमें आर्ट के सब सब्जेक्ट्स देखने को मिलते हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, देयर आर सो मैनी कैलीग्राफी आर्टिस्ट, creative writers, singers, comedians, TV serial actors, movie actors, animators or animation artists, photographers, printmakers, jewelry designers, fashion designers, textile designers, footwear designers, interior designers, and theater artists, etc. अब हम ह्यूमैनिटीज और आर्ट को कंपेयर करेंगे। ह्यूमैनिटीज स्टडीज के अंतर्गत एंशियंट और मॉडर्न लैंग्वेज, लिटरेचर, फिलॉसफी, हिस्ट्री, सोशियोलॉजी, ज्योग्राफी, लॉ, रिलीजन एंड आर्ट एक्सेट्रा होते हैं। ह्यूमैनिटीज स्टडीज के अंतर्गत हमारी कल्पना, हमारे अनुभव, हमारी सोच और हमारे समाज पर आधारित कहानियां व कविताएं, पौराणिक स्टोरीज, कल्चर और ह्यूमन वैल्यूज आदि के बारे में बताया जाता है, जो पूर्ण रूप से कला के अंतर्गत भी आता है। लेकिन ह्यूमैनिटीज स्टडीज मोस्टली थ्योरेटिकल बेस्ड होती है, जबकि आर्ट टेक्निकल बेस्ड होती है। जैसे हम समझने के लिए हिस्ट्री का एग्जाम्पल लें तो जो ह्यूमैनिटीज के अंतर्गत थ्योरेटिकल होती है, जबकि उसी हिस्ट्री को आर्ट या कला के थ्रू एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए हम स्कल्पचर या पेंटिंग में टेक्नोलॉजी का यूज करते हैं। Okay, thank you.
Very beautifully explained.
Thank you very much.
So, Dr. Pai, the next question goes to you because today, along with World Environmental Health Day, this day is also remarked as the Day of Deafs. So, one question is basically dedicated to the Day of Deafs. So, the question is, how does art have a direct impact on the lives of deaf people? And how can art be used as a psychological therapy?
Yes, it does have an impact on a very good positive impact on deaf people also. Because when there is sensory impairment of any kind, one of the example, the question which you have asked is, when people are deaf. So when there is any sensory impairment, the the self-esteem is low of such individuals, and then they have problem communicating with their peer, it can be with the peer groups or any person from the society, and hence they tend to be more lonely, and the confidence is also low. In such conditions, one thing how art therapy helps is that to express what they feel. So art, in the sense, instead of mentioning it as art, if we just tell that individual to just draw what they feel, that itself shows us the problems which are faced by them. As physicians, our duty is to treat individuals. So when we know the psychological condition of such patients, what they feel, it not as a patient as such, but as an individual, what they feel. It can be the loneliness, it can be the detachment from the family members, things like this. They will show that in their drawing itself. And then, for example, there were children who were asked, or even they were not enjoying going to school. Some children had some post-traumatic stress disorder. They had detachment issues. And then when they were told to draw how they feel, why they don't enjoy going to school, mixing with their friends or peer groups. Then a child had drawn something like he was behind prison bars, like behind the prison bars. It shows the child was not enjoying going to school and he felt that it was like prison. That itself shows to the therapist the psychological state of the child, how imprisonment the child was feeling. That is one thing. And then through drawing, through the creative process, the individual becomes more confident. And that is how, when they are, in the society, it will give them a lot of confidence. So these are two things how, even for a person who is suffering from any sensory impairment, it can be speech impairment also, it will help them. Yes, thank you.
That is phenomenal, actually, because
Very nice.
it is a very important part, because most of the people usually think that if a person is there with some impairment, so there can nothing much to be done with that person, and just it becomes a load for the individuals and the family as well. So that is a very impactful thing to know. Um, so, Artist Shubha, the next question for you is, what is color psychology?
माइंड एंड इमोशंस पर कलर्स के होने वाले इफेक्ट्स को कलर साइकोलॉजी कहते हैं। कलर्स के साइकोलॉजिकल इफेक्ट्स को मुख्य रूप से दो कैटेगरी में जाने जाते हैं, वार्म कलर्स एंड कूल कलर्स। अभी हम जानेंगे कि वार्म कलर्स क्या होते हैं। वार्म कलर्स जैसे रेड, येलो एंड ऑरेंज। फॉर एग्जांपल, जैसे कि सन एक वार्म का सिंबल है और उसकी पिक्चर को कलर करने के लिए हम रेड, ऑरेंज एंड येलो, ये तीन कलर्स का यूज करते हैं। यह वार्म कलर्स हमारे अंदर इमोशंस क्रिएट करते हैं, जैसे लव, हैप्पीनेस, एंगर। यही कारण है कि हम वैलेंटाइंस डे पर रेड रोज प्रेजेंट करते हैं एंड फ्रेंडशिप डे पर येलो रोज प्रेजेंट करते हैं। कूल कलर्स जैसे ग्रीन, ब्लू एंड पर्पल। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जैसे कि वाटर कूलनेस का सिंबल। किसी भी पेंटिंग में अगर हमें वाटर के डिफरेंट शेड्स दिखाने हो तो हम ब्लू एंड ग्रीन के मैक्सिमम शेड्स दिखाते हैं। यह कूल कलर्स हमारे इमोशंस जैसे कि पीस ऑफ माइंड और सैडनेस को जागृत करते हैं। अनदर एग्जाम्पल, जैसे नेचर में हमें ग्रीन के शेड्स ज्यादा देखने को मिलते हैं और आसमान और पानी में ब्लू के शेड्स मिलते हैं, जिससे हम पीस फील करते हैं। और जैसे कि हम अपने घर के वॉल्स ज्यादातर कूल कलर से पेंट कराते हैं ताकि हम पीस ऑफ माइंड फील करें। ये वार्म एंड कूल कलर्स के अलावा कुछ और भी कलर्स हैं जो हमारे माइंड एंड इमोशंस पर इफेक्ट डालते हैं, जैसे व्हाइट कलर प्योरिटी, इनोसेंस एंड क्लीनलीनेस को सिंबलाइज करता है। ब्लैक कलर पावर, स्ट्रेंथ, एवल एटसेट्रा को सिंबलाइज करता है। ग्रे कलर न्यूट्रल, टाइमलेस एंड प्रैक्टिकल को सिंबलाइज करता है। ब्राउन कलर नेचुरल, ऑर्गेनिक एंड कंफर्ट आदि को सिंबलाइज करते हैं। पिंक कलर रोमांस, लव एंड फैमिली एटसेट्रा को सिंबलाइज करते हैं। आजकल कलर साइकोलॉजी को एडवर्टाइजमेंट और इंडस्ट्री में भी यूज किया जाता है, जैसा कि हम देखते हैं। थैंक यू।
Very beautiful. I think very few people know that, because most of the people, they just go and pick up the colors and they start using in their offices and at home also. I don't think that there is a meaning behind every color. There is a psychology behind every color. There are very few people who know that. So thank you very much for sharing that.
Thank
So
you,
Dr.
Vasu.
Pai, the next question for you. What are some disorders in children where art therapy is helpful?
Yes, art therapy in children is useful in many disorders actually. So if we consider, from the neurological disorders itself. So diseases such as autism and ADHD, and I'll give you some examples so that the viewers can just know which are the various disorders where we can use art therapy, and then I will go into the details of this. So autism, ADHD, and then we have developmental disorders such as cerebral palsy, or it can be various chromosomal abnormalities also. It can be Down syndrome and other syndromes where the developmental disabilities are present, these, and also in conditions such as post-traumatic stress disorders, or it can be when if the child has undergone some sort of abuse, then also mainly to diagnose the condition, because I'll explain how it helps. And also in muscular disorders, it can be muscular dystrophy. All these conditions also, art therapy is very beneficial. So as a physician, as Ayurvedic doctor, so when I'm treating various diseases in children, especially the one which is mentioned now, so we as Ayurvedic doctors, we give Ayurvedic medicines, which are herbal medicines, and also Panchakarma procedures, which are very effective, a combination of these two. So along with this, when art therapy is also advised, then since a visual medium is something, especially art, drawing, here art in the sense, in children I'm mentioning about drawing, so drawing is something with especially colors. It can be crayons or it can be paint medium. A child enjoys it. So when we incorporate this art therapy along with the medicines, it has found to be very beneficial. Because in neurological disorders, since the brain itself is affected, it takes a longer duration for the child to improve. There is improvement, of course, very good improvement is seen, but it takes a longer duration, and we want the child to engage in the activities and along with other therapies which are available. For example, in ADHD and autism, along with our medications and Panchakarma, there is behavioral therapy. So it's a collaboration of different therapies. So there is behavioral therapy, and if we include art therapy also along with this, a child will very easily, involve himself or herself, and benefit is very great. For example, when we are talking about autism is when a child, the eye contact is very poor, and the mainly the social communication skill is affected. So such children have got very good IQ. It's not that they are not able to understand. Their IQ is good, but there's a the eye contact is not present, the communication skill is not there, hence their speech impairment will be seen. So for speech, for an individual to talk, initially it is the visual aspect, that is the eye contact is very important. The gesture is very important. The first thing which comes. And then after that, it is the verbal dialogue itself. And since this is the main thing which is required in speech, but since in autism, the eye contact itself is not present, the gesture is not there, the child is not able to understand the verbal command. So for us, the important thing is to improve the social communication skills, and this can be done through art. For example, when the child, if we ask, I can give you an example. If we ask an autistic child to show where his eyes are, where his nose is, then the child is not able to show, because the child doesn't understand your verbal command as such, what you are asking. And then, but if you draw a human body on the paper, and then if you take out a cutout of a nose and tell the child to stick it at the nose area, the child does it appropriately. So this way we can start, where using the drawing, you can show which are the parts of the body, and the child understands it very well. From there, slowly you can start Or even before this, you can start with certain shapes, simple shapes, such as triangle. Always when we are starting a therapy to a child, it has to be from a simple drawing. Because in autism, when it becomes complex, the child completely withdraws and the child will never come to you because the child, when the child feels that he cannot understand this, then the child doesn't, how can I say, doesn't get involved at all. So the important thing is to start with simple drawings like line drawings. It can be in the form of circles, triangles, squares. So once these shapes are taught, especially using colors, not with just pencils, with colors, when they are taught, then the child will understand these shapes. Why are these shapes important? From here, we can start with the alphabet, the writing, the alphabet. And then you can start with slightly complex drawing, like a human body. It can be a tree, it can be a flower, because all these, drawings start from the basic shapes itself. So that way we can start. So how does this help a child? It helps the child to become more confident, and then slowly the child will come out of his zone and start drawing creatively what the child enjoys. And you can also teach the child along with this the teaching methods, whatever we need to, we want the child to understand, we can incorporate through the drawing. This is, in collaboration we can do with other therapies. Similarly, in ADHD also, when in ADHD a child is impulsive and the child has hyperactivity, there is inattention. All these problems are present. And the parents are not able to understand what is going on in the child's mind because the child cannot express all this. So then we tell the child to just draw what he feels. Why he cannot, mingle with his friends? Why his friends doesn't like him, or why he feels so lonely? And then he can draw it. He draws it on the paper. Even the very young children also draw. Even a 5-year-old child also draws. And then through that, we can show it to the parents how the child feels, and even their teachers also, because this is one of the problems which is faced in school, where even the teachers now they do understand what a hyperactivity is, but they might find difficulty in understanding what the child goes through. So when this is told to the teacher, even they and in the school, his peer group, his friends also will understand the problems which he faces. Along with that, the creative process itself, it's more calming. It brings about a positive attitude in the child. The mood improves, and a very good hand-eye coordination is present. The concentration is good. So this way, it helps the child. It is in the form of education and also in understanding what the problems, what the child faces. And then there are other disorders also. Like Dr. Soumya, you want me to continue explaining the diseases and how we
Sure,
can.
sure, doctor. Please go
Okay,
ahead. Please go ahead. Yes.
okay. So then, in developmental disorders such as cerebral palsy, so in cerebral palsy, there is a delay in the milestones. It can be a it is gross motor milestone and fine motor milestone. Either it is a delay or there is no achievement of this milestone. So in these conditions also, I advise Ayurvedic medicines, Panchakarma. Physiotherapy is one therapy which is available. Physiotherapy and occupational therapy. It is available to change or to treat the dystonia which is present or the abnormal tone which is present. But then, it becomes like a therapy where we need to push the child every time. So by art, by drawing, by painting, the fine motor movements also improve. The muscles improve, and hence, achieving these milestones becomes easier in a child because a child very easily engages in these things. So, along with the other therapies, that is how it will be beneficial to the child. That is one. The coordination itself, because in diseases as such, in cerebral palsy and also other developmental disabilities, their coordination is affected, their motor function is affected, the hand-eye coordination is not present. So all the spacing, the orientation aspect is affected. So in all these areas, the art therapy will help. Then we have the other, these are the disorders, and yes, we have muscular disorders also, like muscular dystrophies, where also along with the physiotherapy, we can advise art therapy, where very easily, happily the child will engage, and we needn't pressurize the child. Then in post, it can be there might be a post-traumatic stress in the family. The child might have lost a sibling or a very close relative. In such, situations, a child does not keep up, what the child is facing. The child might be very depressed, not be playing. So the parents observe that there is some change in the child. Because whenever there is a post-traumatic stress, the brain, immediately shuts down the memories of that traumatic experience. So verbally, when we are asking the child to explain, the child is not able to say because that memory is shut down. But visually, the child is able to show it through his drawing, his or her drawing. Hence, in such disorders, when they are told to draw how they feel, even in conditions like depression, also, when they are told how to draw, just to draw how they feel, then they draw it. And this helps the therapist to understand the actual psychological state of a child. There are children who might have lost a sibling, and they have shown their, when they were told to draw how they feel, they have drawn themselves having a smiling face before the sibling died, and after the sibling died, after that post trauma, they have shown the child with a sad face sitting alone in the living room, just a simple sketch showing that. So where the child is not able to explain, such drawings help the therapist to understand the psychological state of the child. And that helps in treatment, because then slowly asking, not directly asking, what happened, why this, just asking, why is this face? You have a sad face, why is that? The child says that, that is how I felt. And that shows the psychological state of the child. Even in conditions like abuses, it can be physical abuse, it can be sexual abuse, just drawing how they feel, even in depression, just drawing it. And in physical abuse also, there have been times when a child, or in adolescence also, they have drawn what the assailant has done to them, in rough images, where they couldn't recall what had happened, but they had drawn it. And hence the therapist was able to go in depth into such situations. So that has helped. And this is in children. And when we come into adolescents and even adults also, especially, there have been, diseases, there are diseases like Alzheimer's disease, where a patient loses his memory. But it has been seen that even though the parietal and the temporal areas, are not functioning, there is a, loss in such areas. Even then, the frontal area is more active, and these people were more creative. To give an example, a famous musician, international artist, Mr. Tony Bennett, who's suffering from Alzheimer's disease, and he performed recently on stage, a bigger performance with a famous international artist, Lady Gaga. And then, even though he's suffering from Alzheimer's disease, he could recall all his songs, and he was able to sing it without any promptness at all. This shows that his area of memory, especially the artistic side, was still very active, and he was able to perform. So that area is still active. That is because it, for the right side of the brain to be active, it needs some emotion, it needs some creativity, and hence he was able to perform. Even in schizophrenia, it has been seen that in depression also, when they are told to play musical instruments, it can be vocal or it can be musical instrument as such. Their mood improved and their negativity was reduced, the positivity was enhanced. Studies have been done. And there was a change in their behavior also. So in these ways, it helps individuals how they can adopt art therapy in different forms, and it has been helpful to them. So as physicians also, we can, even if we are treating, it can be adults, it can be children, we can always incorporate art therapy, along with the other therapies itself. Thank you.
Very beautiful.
So that is amazing. I think so many people out there, they can connect with so many situations, the conditions that you have told in the scenario, what happens in the society these days. And there are so many physicians out there who are really, they are very thankful to you. They are messaging us, and they are really thankful to you for providing all the information that they can include in their practice, so that they can help the people out there who are suffering with some kind of disorders like that you have explained, Mani. For all those who have just joined in, you are watching a live AyurDeepak Arambha Ayurveda and Panchakarma clinic. This is Swastikala, a webinar on the effect of art on human mind. You can drop your questions in the comments, and we will be taking all your questions as much as possible towards the end of the session. So the next question goes to Artist Shubhra. Please tell our audience in what ways do colors affect children?
कलर्स आंखों से होते हुए ब्रेन तक पहुंचते हैं और फिर ब्रेन इम्पल्सेस डिफरेंट हार्मोन्स के द्वारा हमारे इमोशंस और माइंड को अफेक्ट करते हैं। ठीक ऐसे ही कलर्स बच्चों की लर्निंग एबिलिटी, बिहेवियर, मेमोरी, इन सब को अफेक्ट करते हैं। जैसे कलर्ड गॉगल्स पहनकर लगभग सभी बच्चे बहुत खुश होते हैं। बच्चों में कलर के विजुअल परसेप्शन से लर्निंग एबिलिटी डेवलप होती है। जैसे ब्लू बॉल्स एंड शेल्स बच्चों के एग्रेसिव बिहेवियर को कम करता है एंड उन्हें काम करके लर्निंग एबिलिटी को बढ़ाता है। और क्योंकि बच्चों में कलर परसेप्शन बेटर होता है तो वे कलर्ड फॉन्ट्स एंड कलरफुल पिक्चर्स को बेटर समझते हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जैसे ए फॉर एप्पल उन्हें केवल वर्ड्स में पढ़ाया जाए तो वो उनको समझना जितना मुश्किल होता है, कलरफुल पिक्चर के साथ अगर उन्हें बताया जाए तो उसे वो जल्दी ग्रैस्प करते हैं। कलर बच्चों के फिजिकल रिएक्शन को भी अफेक्ट करता है। ऐसा देखा गया है कि ब्लू एंड वायलेट कलर हाई बीपी को नॉर्मल करता है। ब्राइट कलर जैसे रेड, येलो, ग्रीन, ब्लू एंड पिंक बच्चों को ज्यादा अफेक्ट करते हैं और ये कलर्स उन्हें एक्टिव और हैप्पी बनाते हैं। लेकिन कलर्स प्रत्येक बच्चों पर अपना अलग प्रभाव डालते हैं। जैसे वार्म कलर्स रेड, येलो एंड ऑरेंज कुछ बच्चों पर कामिंग इफेक्ट भी डालते हैं तो कुछ को एग्रेसिव करते हैं। उसी तरह कूल कलर्स ब्लू, ग्रीन एंड वायलेट कुछ बच्चों की स्टिमुलेट करते हैं तो कुछ को रिलैक्स करते हैं। एक्सेस ऑफ एनी कलर उस कलर के विपरीत प्रभाव को भी बढ़ा देते हैं। इसलिए हमें वार्म एंड कूल कलर्स के प्रॉपर बैलेंस को ध्यान में रखते हुए एक उचित, प्लेफुल, हैप्पी एंड कामिंग एनवायरनमेंट क्रिएट करें। थैंक यू।
Wow, so there is so much more for children now. अब छोटे बच्चों के लिए काफी नई नई चीजें I think पता चल रही है आज हम लोगों को, and we have so many people around us who are in the age group of children. So we can always use these colors in order to maintain and in order to balance the emotions in the lives of children. So because the tiny people are very important. Fine. The next question goes to Dr. Pai, and that is, can art be used as a physical therapy? If so, please quote a few conditions where art helps in healing.
Yes, along with the other therapies which are available, art therapy can be used as a physical therapy, and there are various examples for this, along with the ones which I had already mentioned. In There are proven results of children or adolescents who had this who were into depression and who had this delinquent behavior, that is, who were too aggressive towards others, destroying their properties or damaging others' properties or being a threat to others. There was like physical violence. And in such children also, and adolescents also, it was seen that, art helped them. It can be in the form of fine arts, or it can be in the form of music also, that it has helped them in their cognitive development. And also it reduced anxiety in them. It was like a mood enhancer. It reduced the negative, behavior from their side, and hence their depression also reduced. Even though depression is something where many of them would exhibit themselves as sitting lonely, not mingling with other people. But there are some individuals who would express them in a very negative way, destroying or damaging others' property, doing a harm to others. In such individuals, also when art therapy was introduced, it was seen that there was a very, drastic change in their behavior. There was positivity, and hence the depression also reduced. That is one. Then there are other diseases in children also, who are suffering from chronic and very severe disorders, like it can be cancer, it can be kidney disease, or they can be juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, or if they are suffering from some chronic pain, and even in severe burns also. It has helped to reinforce, positivity in them, and also to reduce the anxiety, because when there is pain, there is the individual is more anxious, more worried. So it has helped them to reduce the anxiety in such individuals, and it has helped them to show their strength. That is how they feel, their coping mechanism, and the negativity which is present in them, and all their cognitive development as a whole has been shown through these art therapies. That is how it has been helpful. And yes, the psychological disorders in adults, it can be, just anxiety, or it can be depression. In all this, music therapy and visual, that is the fine arts, have shown to, have shown that they have a very good positive impact. Studies have already been done, and it has shown a very good improvement. Even in speech impairment, also in children who are suffering from learning disabilities and also speech, it was seen that their speech improved, the tone of the speech improved, and the learning disability has such, they were able to correct it with music therapy. That is, when they were actually playing musical instruments or vocal, then all this, the speech impairment also, this a very good improvement. Whereas in the other children who were not exposed or who were not doing this music therapy, no change was seen. There are many studies which are done, and hence it has been adopted in various conditions. Thank you.
Okay. So there are a lot of disorders, as Dr. Pai has already explained all of us, and this is really helpful, I think, and very informational. So thank you very much for sharing all of that information. And now the next question goes to Artist Shubhayu. Uh, what is environmental art? How do you use the concept of environmental art in your profession?
एनवायरमेंटल आर्ट एक ऐसी आर्ट है जो कि एंशियंट थॉट्स जैसे नेचुरल मटेरियल्स के उपयोग द्वारा प्रेजेंट एनवायरमेंटल इश्यूज जैसे पॉल्यूशन, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग, पॉलिटिक्स एटसेट्रा को सॉल्व करने के लिए बनाई जाती है। एनवायरमेंटल आर्ट को आर्टिस्ट के एक ग्रुप ने 1960 में स्टार्ट किया। उनका मेन एम यह था कि हमारे द्वारा नेचर को होने वाले हार्म से उसे बचाया जा सके। एनवायरमेंटल आर्ट में हमें नेचर एंड वाइल्ड लाइफ से प्यार करना सिखाया जाता है और हमारा रिश्ता नेचुरल वर्ल्ड के साथ बेहतर और रेस्पेक्टफुल बनता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर हम वेडिंग डेकोरेशन की बात करें, वेडिंग डेकोरेशन में हम प्लास्टिक के फ्लावर्स यूज करने के बजाय नेचुरल फ्लावर्स यूज करते हैं, तो हम अपने एनवायरनमेंट को पॉल्यूशन से बचाते हैं। वो नेचुरल फ्लावर्स हमारे घर आंगन में खुशबू भी भर देते हैं और हमें केमिकल बेस्ड रूम फ्रेशनर का भी यूज करने से बचाते हैं, जो कि हमारे एनवायरनमेंट के लिए काफी हेल्दी और हेल्पफुल है। पुराने जमाने में आर्ट को बनाने के लिए नेचुरल मटेरियल्स जैसे फूल, पत्ती, घास, टहनी, पेड़, झाड़ी, मिट्टी, रेत, अनाज, सी शेल्स, पानी एक्सेट्रा का यूज किया जाता था। अब उसी कंसेप्ट को आर्ट में प्रयोग कर हम प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन जैसे पॉल्यूशन, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग एक्सेट्रा को सॉल्व करते हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, घर और ऑफिस में फ्रिज का पानी पीने के बजाय आजकल इतने आर्टिस्टिक सुराहियां और क्ले पॉट्स आते हैं, हम उन्हें अपनी डेली लाइफ में यूज करें तो उससे हमारे घर के एक कॉर्नर की शोभा भी बढ़ेगी और वो इको फ्रेंडली भी है और हेल्थ पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से भी हमारे लिए काफी अच्छा है। Those organic pots looks very decent at our home too. सेम थिंग अगर हम अपने घर एंड वर्क प्लेस में आर्टिफिशियल और प्लास्टिक के विंड चाइम्स के बजाय मिट्टी के या सी शेल से बने विंड चाइम्स का यूज करें तो वो इको फ्रेंडली भी है और यूनिक और ब्यूटीफुल भी लगते हैं। एंड प्लास्टिक तोरण के बजाय नेचुरल लीव्स को यूज करें, वो हमारे एनवायरनमेंट में एक पॉजिटिव एनर्जी लेके आता है और एनवायरमेंटल हेल्थ को भी प्रमोट करता है। तीसरा, दिवाली में हम कैंडल के बजाय मिट्टी के दियों का प्रयोग करें, अपने एनवायरनमेंट को पॉल्यूशन फ्री बनाए।
Very beautiful. So, I think this is the new concept these days, and environmental art is like one new fashion, you can say, one new trending thing that is more growing in the society, and it is a very positive thing to do. And even I encourage everyone out there, whoever is listening or who will listen to it after the live session is over. Then also, I encourage everyone to go for environmental art, to buy environmental art, to do environmental art in whatever ways possible, because environment is our own thing. It is not something that belongs to someone else, some other planet. It depends on us only, and it is our responsibility to conserve, to protect the environment so that we can live peacefully and in a lovely way. So the next question goes to Dr. Pai. So Dr. Pai, in what ways does art affect the mind? Like we are talking about human mind. So in what ways does art affect the mind?
So mind has such from the Ayurvedic point of view, when we consider mind as manas, so it has got various functions and different functions. And art actually helps in if there is some abnormality in the mind, then it helps to correct these abnormalities itself. So it can be, as a mood enhancer itself, and there are various diseases which occur because of the abnormality of the manas, that is the mind. So there are various diseases have been explained. It is unmad, it is apasmad, where aggressive tendencies are also seen in Pittaja Unmad. At the same time, depressive kind of tendencies are seen in Kapaja Unmad. So all this can be treated very well with the art therapy itself through the dopaminergic transmission. It has seen to have a very positive impact on the patients. Yeah, thank you.
This is something very beautiful, and we all need to understand this.
Sorry. Yes,
No problem.
please continue.
So this is very important to know, and actually, art is one thing that everyone is talking about these days. Everyone is doing. Some people knowingly, some unknowingly, but everyone is engaged in art in some form. Some are listening to music or something like you both have told some forms of art. And the disorders in which it can be used as a therapy, not just as a sensual pleasure, but also as a form of therapy. You can use it, and you can always consult a therapist for that, obviously, because there are people out there who are specialized in such things who you can consult. But this session is something very informational, and you can always include a couple of things to your lifestyle so that you can keep yourself in balance state. So the next question goes to Atish Shubhra. How does art environment affect our day-to-day life?
Sorry, sorry, that's sorry. There's adjustment. हम एक इंसान है तो हमारा सेल्फ भी है और सेल्फ में मूड एंड इमोशंस भी है। मूड एंड इमोशंस हमारे अंदर बाहर के स्टिमुलस या उत्तेजनाओं से काफी प्रभावित होते हैं। अत्यधिक स्टिमुलस से हमारी ब्रीदिंग, पल्स, बीपी और मसल प्रभावित होती है, तो फिर कम स्टिमुलस से एंजाइटी, स्लीपीनेस, एक्सेसिव इमोशनल रिएक्शन, लॉस ऑफ कंसंट्रेशन और नर्वसनेस आदि का कारण है। ऐसे स्टिमुलस मूड एंड इमोशंस को आर्ट एंड कलर से बैलेंस किया जा सकता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जैसे हम अपनी डे टू डे लाइफ में सॉफ्ट म्यूजिक सुनते हैं, जैसा कि डॉक्टर पई ने भी बताया था कि म्यूजिकल क्लासेस, म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स के द्वारा हम अपने आप को इमोशंस और मूड को अच्छा कर सकते हैं। सॉफ्ट म्यूजिक सुनते हैं, जस्ट लाइक इंडियन क्लासिकल म्यूजिक हो गए, कुछ सॉफ्ट म्यूजिक्स या कुछ बेहतरीन लाइफ इंस्पायरिंग म्यूजिक हो गए, लाइफ इंस्पायरिंग सॉन्ग्स हो गए। जैसे हम सभी ने सुना है, हमारे इंडिया के मोस्ट फेमस सिंगर किशोर कुमार जी का मनमोहक गाना जिंदगी एक सफर है सुहाना, या हो कल क्या हो किसने जाना, जो कि सुनते ही हमारे अंदर एक नई ताजगी सी भर देता है। और इन्हीं प्रकार के इंस्पिरेशनल एंड एनर्जेटिक सॉन्ग्स को सुनकर अगर हम अपने दिन की शुरुआत करें तो फिर हमारा पूरा दिन एक अच्छे मूड और पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड के साथ ही गुजरता है। और अगर हम विजुअलाइजेशन की बात करें तो अपने आसपास नेचर रिलेटेड और लाइफ की पॉजिटिविटी से रिलेटेड आर्ट पोस्टर्स या पेंटिंग्स देखकर जब हम अपने दिन की शुरुआत करते हैं तो हम अपने अंदर एक पॉजिटिव एनर्जी को महसूस करते हैं। जैसे वर्ल्ड फेमस पेंटिंग आर्टिस्ट विंसेंट वैन गो की सनफ्लावर पेंटिंग, आई वुड लाइक टू शो द painting print. This is sunflower painting by Vincent van Gogh, and it's He made this in 1889 एंड इसका कंसेप्ट रहा है ग्रैटिट्यूड, जो कि उन्होंने अपने एक फ्रेंड को गिफ्ट किया था और उन्होंने इस पे काफी सीरीज भी बनाए हैं. He wrote
Sorry to interrupt, Artist Shubhra. Can you please like be in the center of your screen so that we can visualize whole of the painting?
Yeah, sure.
A little from distance, Okay. So this painting has been done by an artist, some other artist you are saying, right?
Yeah. This is done by Vincent van Gogh. He is a world famous painter.
Okay. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. He wrote, they communicated gratitude, and gratitude literally means being thankful. और in Hindi language it's called आभार, जो कि हमारे जीवन में एक हेल्दी एनवायरनमेंट क्रिएट करता है. अगला एग्जांपल ले तो हम अपने मनपसंद कपड़े पहनकर भी अपने मूड्स एंड इमोशंस को पॉजिटिव फील करते हैं. हमें परिवार और समाज में रहने के लिए, एकेडमिक्स और करियर में आगे बढ़ने के लिए अपने आप में कुछ क्वालिटीज डेवलप करनी होती है, जैसे क्रिएटिविटी, कॉन्फिडेंस, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग एबिलिटी, पॉजिटिव बॉडी लैंग्वेज, फोकस्ड एक्सेट्रा होना आजकल के समय में आगे बढ़ने के लिए अति आवश्यक है. एल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन का कहना है, इमेजिनेशन इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट देन नॉलेज बिकॉज नॉलेज इज लिमिटेड. आर्ट क्रिएट करने के लिए हम कुछ इमेजिन करते हैं. सॉरी दैट द समवन. Sorry Dr. Pai, sorry Vasudev, sorry everyone. आर्ट क्रिएट करने के लिए हम कुछ इमेजिन करते हैं, जो रिपीटेड प्रैक्टिस से न्यू आइडियाज डेवलप करते हैं, और इस प्रकार हमारी पर्सनालिटी न्यू आइडियाज क्रिएट करने लगती है, जो हमारे डे टू डे लाइफ में हेल्पफुल होता है. इसी प्रकार जब हम ग्रुप शो करते हैं, जैसे थिएटर, ग्रुप डांस, पेंटिंग एग्जीबिशन एक्सेट्रा, तो हमारे अंदर कॉन्फिडेंस, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग एबिलिटी, मेडिटेशन, अकाउंटेबिलिटी, कोलैबोरेशन एक्सेट्रा जैसी क्वालिटीज उभर कर आती है. इसीलिए हमारे लिए डे टू डे लाइफ में एक हेल्दी आर्ट एनवायरनमेंट रखना बहुत आवश्यक है, क्योंकि हमने अभी इस डिस्कशन के समझा. थैंक यू.
Very beautiful, very beautiful. Okay. So all those who are tuned in, we have already started getting questions from some people, and if you have any questions, so you can drop in the comments so that we can take towards the end of the session. We are almost towards the end and only a few questions remaining from my side, then we'll start with your questions. So please keep asking the questions. We have experts over here, and there are a very few days when you are connected to the people who are in the field of art and medicine together. So please make good use of this opportunity and ask the questions. So the next question goes to Dr. Pai, and the question is, sorry, the next question is to you, Artist Shubhra only. As a visual artist, what role have you got to play in improving the environmental health?
I am a visual artist and painting is my profession. As a painting artist, I always try my best to use the concept of environmental art in my profession, जो कि हमने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले डिस्कस किया था, what is environmental art. बचपन से मुझे नेचर से प्रेम है. जैसा कि हम जानते हैं कि एनवायरमेंटल आर्ट हमें नेचर एंड वाइल्ड लाइफ से प्यार करना सिखाती है और हमारा रिश्ता नेचुरल वर्ल्ड के साथ बेहतर और रेस्पेक्टफुल बनाता है। ठीक उसी प्रकार मेरे कुछ आर्टवर्क्स मेरे इस प्रेम को दर्शाते हैं, जो कि मैं आप सभी को प्रेजेंट करना चाहती हूँ। This is a work done with seashells. This is a peacock. You can see this. एंड ये एनवायरमेंटल आर्ट को बहुत अच्छा प्रमोट करता है। सीशेल्स इज नेचुरल मटेरियल और इसमें मैंने ये सीशेल से फुल आर्टवर्क क्रिएट किया है, जो कि पीकॉक हमारा इंडिया का नेशनल बर्ड भी है और हमें अपने बर्ड्स, वाइल्ड लाइफ, एनिमल्स सबसे प्यार करना चाहिए और जो कि एक सुंदरता को भी दर्शाता है। ये मेरा आर्टवर्क है जो कि मैं अपने आर्ट फील्ड में एनवायरमेंटल आर्ट को दर्शाती हूँ। और भी मैं कुछ अपने आर्टवर्क्स प्रेजेंट करना चाहूंगी। Can you see the artwork clearly?
Yes. Can you please keep it a little away from the screen so that we can see whole of that?
Okay. Is this okay?
Yes, yes, yes.
This is Wali art. It is from traditional art from Maharashtra. And इसमें मैंने मोरपंख की स्टिक यूज की है। मोरपंख के वेस्ट जो मोरपंख होता है उसका जो ऊपर के मोरपंखी के जो टुकड़े हैं उसी से मैंने इसका फुआल बनाया है। दिस इज अ विलेज सीन। विलेज सीन में बर्ड्स हैं जो कि ग्रेन्स खा रहे हैं। ये आप थोड़ा क्लियरली पास से देख सकते हैं। ये भी मोरपंख से बना है और ये जो लेडी है शी इज होल्डिंग दिस फुआल, ये भी मोरपंखा से बना है। और दिस स्टिक ट्री स्टिक इज मेड फ्रॉम मोरपंख स्टिक। तो ये स्टेम जो है वो भी मोरपंखा स्टिक से बना है। तो ये भी एनवायरमेंटल आर्ट को प्रमोट करता है जो कि मैं आपको प्रेजेंट कर रही हूँ।
Very nice, very beautiful, Shubhra.
Yes, it is very beautiful.
Thank you, Dr. Pai. Thank you, that's all. And this one is flowers. These are watermelon seeds, and these are moorpunk sticks. And this composition I made with the use of watermelon seeds. So हम अपने artwork में जरूरी नहीं है कि सिर्फ क्ले या फिर ऐसी शेल्स का यूज करें। उसके अलावा हमारे वेजिटेबल्स हो गए, फ्रूट्स हो गए, जो कि हम बहुत इजीली पा सकते हैं, जो कि खरीदना भी नहीं पड़ेगा। हम डेली लाइफ में हम इजीली उसे अपने घरों में ही मिल जाएगा हमें। तो वाटरमेलन सीड जैसे मैंने यहाँ यूज किया है। जो वाटरमेलन हमने खाया उसके बाद पहले ही उसके सीड्स निकाल लिए और उसको कलर करके रख लिया और उसको क्लीन करके इसमें पेस्ट किया है। तो ये फाइनल आर्टवर्क है। एंड एज एन एनवायरमेंटल आर्टिस्ट, मतलब एज एन आर्टिस्ट मैं एनवायरमेंटल आर्ट को प्रमोट करूंगी हमेशा। और इवन मैं सबको ही कहूंगी कि एनवायरमेंटल आर्ट को अडॉप्ट करें, क्योंकि काफी अच्छा इफेक्ट है वो हमारे डेली लाइफ में, हमारे ह्यूमन माइंड के लिए, हमारे एनवायरमेंट के लिए और हमारी हेल्थ के लिए। ये इसमें मैंने बर्ड्स को सिंबलाइज किया है, क्योंकि जैसे कि हमारे ह्यूमन माइंड के लिए हमारे रिलेशनशिप्स भी बहुत हेल्दी होने जरूरी है। तो इसमें लव दिखाया है, लव बिटवीन द बर्ड्स। उसी तरह रिश्ता, रिलेशन के बारे में बताया। उसी तरह जैसे हम ह्यूमंस के बीच में भी एक लव रिलेशन होता है, तो उसका मैंने दिखाया, इसमें मैंने दिखाया। और बर्ड्स को भी हमें सेव करना है, तो अगर हम अपने अराउंड बर्ड्स की, एनिमल्स की पेंटिंग हैंग करेंगे तो उससे हमारा उसके प्रति लगाव और प्यार बढ़ेगा। तो हम जाते ही हैं, of course we all love birds and animals. This is elephant. This is the mother and this is the child. And I love elephants. So elephant is the most intelligent animal in animal kingdom who taught her children very beautifully. बेस्ट इंटेलिजेंट मदर्स माने गए हैं एलिफेंट्स, जो कि परफेक्टली अपने बच्चों को गाइड करते हैं. सो दिस इज एलिफेंट एंड मदर. दिस इज अ काइंड ऑफ थीम विथ मदर एंड चाइल्ड. सो मदर एंड चाइल्ड का रिलेशन बताया, चाहे मदर एजुकेटेड हो या अनएजुकेटेड, जो उनकी टीचिंग्स होती है वो बेस्ट इंटेलिजेंसी का एग्जाम्पल होती है, बिकॉज मदर इज एवरीथिंग. So I always be grateful to my mother. So thanks. And मैं एक दो और पेंटिंग्स आपको शो करना चाहूंगी जो कि मैंने एनवायरमेंटल आर्ट पे बनाई है. एक पेंटिंग मैंने पहले आपको एग्जांपल दिया था व्हाट इज आर्ट में, कि आर्टिस्ट जो है दाल चावल और एक्सेट्रा का यूज करके पेंटिंग क्रिएट करते हैं. जैसे कि हमने बात की थी गार्डन आर्टिस्ट होते हैं, स्कल्पचर आर्टिस्ट होते हैं, वो स्कल्पचर को मूर्तिकार जो होते हैं तराशते हैं पत्थर को. वैसे ही पेंटर्स बहुत सारे हैं, पेंटिंग आर्टिस्ट हैं. तो मैंने अपनी लाइफ में राइस, दाल और चाय पत्ती से एक पेंटिंग बनाई जो कि मैं प्रेजेंट करना पसंद करती हूँ. My laptop is opening, so there is some issue. तब तक मैं आपको अपना ये आर्टवर्क दिखाती हूँ. दिस इज आर्ट ऑन नेचर, जो कि हमें नेचर से कनेक्ट होना इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर डे टू डे लाइफ. हमारे ह्यूमन माइंड गुड हेल्थ के लिए आर्ट के थ्रू नेचर से कैसे कनेक्ट हो सकते हैं. सन, इसमें मैंने सन, मून और ये लीव्स बनाए मल्टीपल कलर्स के, जो कि हमारे लाइफ के हर सीजन्स को रिफ्लेक्ट करते हैं. और ये ह्यूमन फेस है. ह्यूमन फेस में ही मैंने इसकी आईज में बर्ड्स बनाए और लीव्स से इसके लिप्स बनाए, जो कि वी आर अ पार्ट ऑफ नेचर एंड इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस टू कनेक्ट टू द नेचर, टू बी इन अ पीस ऑफ माइंड. So yes,
can you show it all together? We need to see it all together from a distance.
All together?
Yes. From a distance, can you see it? I remember this painting, I think, and I love this painting so much, and I want our viewers to get some inspiration from this. Yes.
Yeah, this
I know this is a print, and for the information of all the audience, this painting is a very tall painting, approximately of the size of your door of the house. So it is a very tall painting. So she got a print out of that to show you all over here.
Very nice.
Thank you. And this one I was talking about.
Yes, this is my favorite.
Yeah, can you see this clearly?
Yes.
Yeah, this one is from rice, dal and chai patti. This is dancing girls. I have shown the happiness of girls is about dance. Dance भी एक आर्ट का फॉर्म है, जो कि हमने अभी डिस्कस किया था. डॉक्टर पाई ने भी बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया है उसके बारे में कि वो आर्ट थेरेपी में कितना हेल्पफुल है. तो वही मैंने इसमें प्रेजेंट किया है कि डांसिंग गर्ल्स दिखाइए, उनके आपस का भी कोऑर्डिनेशन. जब हम ग्रुप वर्क करते हैं, ग्रुप आर्टिस्ट ग्रुप में काम करते हैं, तो आपस का भी उनके रिलेशनशिप, कोऑर्डिनेशन, ये सब कुछ इसमें मैंने प्रेजेंट किया है. एंड इसको अगर हम थोड़ा जूम आउट करके देखें, ये आप और पास से देख सकते हैं.
Yes, this is, I think, the pieces of dal and rice, and as she told, she has used some tea seeds also over there, so you can all see it here.
And this is musical instrument. I have made musical design, music symbols. Sorry, this is not musical instrument. Actually, this is music symbols. So they are dancing and enjoying dance music. And
Very nice, very beautiful.
thank you, Dr. Pai. And other than that, I have made this painting on the topic meditation, जो कि आज का हमारा टॉपिक भी है, effect of art on human mind. Meditation is the best example of peace of mind. अगर हमें पीस ऑफ माइंड में रहना है तो मेडिटेशन के लिए सारे प्रैक्टिशनर्स हमें ज़्यादातर लाइफ में हमें कहते हैं मेडिटेशन करने के लिए. सो एज अ विजुअल आर्टिस्ट हमारे एनवायरमेंटल हेल्थ को अच्छा रखने के लिए मैंने मेडिटेशन के ऊपर पेंटिंग बनाई है, जिसमें मैंने कूल कलर्स यूज किए हैं, जो कि हमने अभी डिस्कस किया था. ब्लू कलर इज अ फॉर्म ऑफ कूल कलर. सो ब्लू कलर यूज किया है और ब्लू कलर हमारे माइंड में कामनेस लेकर. सो दिस वन इज I have used different shades of blue colors in this.
Okay.
And lastly, I would like to show me my most favorite painting, because I love cycling from the childhood. So I have made a painting on cycle, and as Vadisomya in the starting told that I got third prize in Pune, so I got third prize in that painting. So I want to show everyone that cycle painting, because the theme is on environmental art. So environmental health के बारे में बात करें, और साइकिल जो है वो हम अपनी डेली लाइफ में यूज करते हैं, तो उससे हमारे एनवायरमेंट में पॉल्यूशन भी नहीं होता, और हमारे हेल्थ पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखें तो हमें फिजिकल हेल्थ के लिए भी साइकिल इज अ वेरी ग्रेट थिंग. एंड सो आई लव साइकिलिंग ऑल्सो. सो मैं दिखाना चाहती हूँ आपको साइकिल. This is my painting. This is the one tire. This one is the tire, and this is the paddle, and this is another. And I use warm colors mostly in this painting, and it shows positivity and energy. Because जब हम physical activity करते हैं कोई, तो हमारे अंदर एक पॉजिटिविटी और एक हाई लेवल ऑफ एनर्जी लेवल्स और क्रिएट होते हैं. तो देन आई यूज्ड वार्म कलर्स इन दिस. ऑरेंज, येलो एंड रेड के इसमें शेड्स ज़्यादा है. एंड टू बैलेंस दिस आई यूज्ड ब्लू कलर्स आल्सो, बिकॉज हमें जैसे कि हमने बात की थी, हमें वार्म कलर और कूल कलर्स दोनों को बैलेंस में लेते हुए चलना है. तो हमारे अराउंड सिर्फ वार्म कलर्स या सिर्फ कूल कलर्स नहीं होने चाहिए, दोनों का मिक्सचर होना चाहिए, और वो भी प्रॉपर फॉर्म में, जो कि आप इतने एक्सपीरियंस्ड आयुर्वेदिक फिजिशियंस हमारे सामने बैठे हैं, उनसे आप ज़्यादा डिटेल में इसके बारे में कंसल्ट कर सकते हैं. थैंक यू. This one is landscape. Sorry, I'm explaining the last one, and I'm taking too much time. Sorry for that. But this is the landscape. This is about nature. So we should go for cool colors and cool the part of nature at our home also. And this kind of painting brings peace of mind and calmness in our day-to-day life. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very so much.
Thank you so much. I think this is phenomenal, and there are a lot of things that we have got to know from this session, because there are a lot of things, lot of topics, lot of artworks. There are a lot of things that we can use while doing paintings and sketchings and all that she has already told you. So we can all include in our day-to-day lives the materials that she told that they are using in their artwork. So you can always use those materials. You can teach children, and you can always use the form of arts at your homes and offices. So this is something very phenomenal. So the last question from my side is for Dr. Pai, and that is, in what ways does art uh, therapy help adults? Like, how is how art therapy helpful in adults? Please explain.
Yes, it in generally, if, in generally, if we need to advise art as such, it brings out creativity in any individual, and this, will boost confidence in them. That is one. And of course, whenever, as and when our age advances, it's important to indulge in any, maybe new. It can be a new art form, or it's something new to learn. So then the brain is stimulated more when we are learning new. Otherwise, it is a bit stagnated because we are, maybe in a profession doing a job, nothing new. So if you start learning something, it can be from the literary side also, like reading something or writing something, maybe a prose, maybe a poem, can be anything, or it can be learning art, a musical instrument, a dance. So when such things are done, it stimulates the brain more, and when the creative aspect is stimulated, we are entering into a creative process. The An enhancement in the memory, the intelligence, the cognitive function is seen. So these are all, the benefit of indulging in anything which is new. It can be art. Hence, especially in adults, when they are entering into their old age, especially starting with 60, it is advised to learn a new art form because the memory will be intact, and the cognitive, impairment will not be seen. Improvement of the cognitive development is seen. So these are the benefits. And hence, of course, you're meeting new people, isn't it? So when you're learning something, you're meeting new people, you're building connections, you're having a very good relation, a social interaction with that individual. And it opens you up also when you meet, you come to know about them, maybe their problems. How can you be in your life? You get so much of knowledge, and hence, for all these various reasons, art or any kind of new experience, learning something new is very important. And I think, COVID has taught us that, where we were confined to our homes, and, we didn't know what to do. There was so much of pressure. We cannot go out. There was a gloom over the head. There were many people who were depressed also. There was a fear in them that, what is going to happen, because with the second COVID wave, which was, sad thing that many people succumb, during the second COVID wave, and people were really afraid to go out. And that has taught us a lot that, not just, even though we are good at one thing, we have a profession. If we always, have this, it is called the lateral thinking. If we always have this lateral thinking and do something else also, what we have the interest in, then, we can be good at it, and also you'll have it'll empower you in many ways, not just your brain functioning, but in your life itself it'll empower you in many ways. So hence it's very beneficial actually, not just art therapy, but any other, even in literature also. You would like to enter into that, really good. Maybe drama, maybe singing, anything, whatever interests that individual, that should be done. Some time should be given to that. Yes, thank you.
This is actually very actually inspiring, and we also see a lot of people out there who have inspired a lot of people in the field of art, and they are very old in age and still they are working, and some people are starting in the old age. So we have a lot of Bollywood stars, we have a lot of singers, we have a lot of dancers over there, and one is Dancing Dadi, and who is a YouTube sensation these days. So we can always take an inspiration from these
Yes,
people. And as Dr. Pai has already told that the people who are moving towards the old age, that is not the end of the age, that is the old age, an experienced age. So that is not the end of the scenario. You always need to grow and you always need to work towards learning new things. So that's all that we can take from this answer, I think. And this is very informational. Thank you so much. So you all are listening to a webinar on the effect of art on human mind. We have some questions over here, so we will start taking. And if you have any questions, we are still taking it. So please post it in the comment section. So the first question is by Chauhan Priya, and she asks, uh, how does art improve your brain functions and mind? So I asked you, Dr. Pai, can you please explain how does art improve your brain functions and mind?
yes, I have explained this in the webinar. In short, I will explain. I think if the
Yes,
uh,
yes.
viewer has missed that portion, then what art does is it if we go towards the brain function itself, what it does is it improves the concentration of that individual, because we have, when we are drawing, we are writing, we have this hand and eye coordination, and to that to happen, we need to have the concentration also. So the memory enhancement, the concentration improvement, the hand-eye coordination, the cognitive development, all happens through art therapy itself. It can be drawing, it can be painting, it can be learning a new instrument, musical instrument, it can be vocals, it can be dance form also. Because all these creative processes, are traditional art. So the whole body is involved, and hence it is beneficial in the, to the individual. And of course, the anxiety is relieved. We are curing the depression, the negative behavior itself, like delinquencies. I had said, someone has a bad behavior of damaging, another individual's property or harm an individual. Then art has seen to show, drawing and paintings have shown that, when they are indulging in such kind of creative process, then the negativity comes down. So a lot of positivity is enhanced, and hence they stop doing such behaviors and they come out of the depression. Even when we are treating children from ADHD, autism, it is seen that it has helped such children a lot. So these are all the benefits we can see when we are treating the diseases in patients, and hence they are that is the effect on the brain and on the mind. Yeah. Thank you.
Wow. So our audience has already started to applause over here. We can see the stickers
I saw
also.
that. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, yes. And people are loving your answers. And we did a poll in the start of the webinar in which I asked that whether you are engaged in art in some form or the other, and how often are you engaged in that. So we got data in which people, 50% of people said that they are using art on a daily basis, and 50% of them were saying that they are using art in some form only occasionally. So the people who are already into that on a daily basis, I really appreciate you I see you, and I always encourage the people who are doing art, and the people who are doing it occasionally. I would like to say that you are already doing very great, and you have to move towards including art in some form in your life on a daily basis. Even if it is for 10 minutes, then also it is okay. But you
Yes.
should always include art in your day-to-day life, because we have got so many things to know today, and both the speakers have told everything very beautifully. They have explained. So art has an impact on our lives, and it has an impact on our environmental health. So we need to understand that, and we need to understand the importance, and it is not just limited to sensual pleasure, but it is also a form of therapy that we can use. So the other question that uh, Anshu Singh has asked is, ये क्वेश्चन है, मैम आप किसी एज ग्रुप के लोगों को पेंटिंग सिखाती हैं क्या? आप ऑनलाइन क्लासेस भी लेती हैं क्या? आई थिंक दिस क्वेश्चन इज फॉर probably are you taking any classes, online classes or offline classes, any one of you?
Yeah, yeah, that is Soma. I am taking online classes as well.
सो ये पूछ रहे हैं आपसे, और अगर आप दोनों में से कोई भी ऐसा है जो कि किसी एज ग्रुप के लोगों को पेंटिंग सिखाते हैं या ऑनलाइन क्लासेस लेते हैं, वी हैव ऑलरेडी शेयर द इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट द स्पोक्स पर्सन, सो आप यूज कर सकते हैं उस इंफॉर्मेशन को टू कॉन्टैक्ट देम टू गो टू देयर लाइक प्लेसेस, एंड one person is based out of Uttarakhand, the other person is based out of Maharashtra. So you can always consult them if they are near to you, or even if they are far from you, you can consult online as well. So please go through the information. आप देख लीजिए जो comment box में हमने post किया है about Dr. Preetham Pai and artist Shubhra, both of them. So I have already posted it over here. So if you have any other question, please post it over here. Otherwise, we will move forward towards the end. And to be very frank, I love the session today, and this is very interesting and very phenomenal. In the start, we did we did a poll, as I told you, and for that we started with the mark that some people are using it. So it is very inspiring, and people are already into it. So it is very nice to know. Uh, If you have any questions, kindly comment. Otherwise, we will wrap up the session. And the people who have missed in the beginning, like Dr. Bai has already told that question, and she repeated it. So if other question you have missed, or you want to know something more about it, you can always replay it on the Facebook profile of AyurDeepak, Arambha, Ayurveda and Panchakarma. You are watching Swastika Kala, a webinar on the effect of art on human mind. Okay, so we are done with the questions, I think. I would like to pay my gratitude to our two respected speakers, Dr. Preetham Pai and my
Thank you.
sibling artist Shubhra also. And I would like to pay my gratitude to Vedi Gaurav Avasthi, who has been a very important part of this webinar. And he is in the back office, you can say. The music and everything, the posters and everything, the advertisement part, everything has been handled by Vedi Gaurav Avasthi. So I would like to thank him from my side. I would like to thank Team AyurDeepak, Arambha Ayurveda and Panchakarma Clinic for helping us grow and for helping us spread the word about this webinar. Also, I'm grateful to all the audience, to each one of you out there who took their precious time to understand the importance of art on human mind, and to understand how art affects our environment and how environment affects all of us. So with that note, I would like to know from all of you, please post in the comments, what next would you like to hear from us, and what are some things that you will inculcate in your life and you got the lessons from this webinar. I will be revisiting the comment section, and I will be very glad to know what are the things that you understood from this webinar. For then, thank you so much. Please keep tuned in. Stay in good health. Namaste, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Soumya and Dr. Gaurav Avasti of AyurDeepak Clinic and Panchakarma Center. This was a unique topic, and many people had inquired me about what I was going to talk. So hence, that itself told the topic is a very interesting one, and people would like to know more about how it can be beneficial. Even for physicians, it can be, or the general public, how they can incorporate art. So that's very nice, and I congratulate you for selecting the topic, a unique topic, and I
Thank
hope
you.
the webinar was beneficial to all those who are present live today, and even after this, they can of course watch the recorded video. Yes, I hope it was beneficial. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Deepam Simon. I'm so thankful that I gained so much of art related knowledge by you. And today, at the last, I would like to say thanks to the whole team of AyurDeepak Arambha Ayurveda, and especially thanks to Vaidya Soumya, who is the host. The very great and beautiful lines he told in the between of our questions session. And I love to say thanks to Gayatri Gauravasti also, who played a very important role from the background. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Namaste.